So this might be a bit of an awkward starting point, but before we get to the good stuff, I'm going to set out my stall about what I actually mean when I talk about change. Because change is a bit of a funny beast. It triggers all sorts of ideas, expectations, and sales pitches. For me, organisational change in its simplest form is the transition between 2 points: where you are now in your current state, and then where you want to be in your future state. It's a journey from A to B. The trick here being that you need to know where you are as much as you need to know where you are heading. You can't just start wandering off into the distance, hoping that the next place, the next adventure is better. The success of an organisational change is influenced by 3 interrelated but distinct ideas, factors: the catalyst of change, the context you are in, and then the response of your people in your organisation. We need to know why you are changing, the environment you are changing in, and how your people are responding to it. This trifecta creates your change management approach and future iteration. It's really important to recognise that a single change can play out differently at organisational, group, and individual levels. What happens at each of these places and moments impacts how the change takes hold in your organisation, what it feels like, and the level of joy or frustration it will see in your people. So now we know what change is. Why do we bother managing it? I'm a bit funny when it comes to talking about change management, because some of the best change, in my opinion, isn't actually managed. It's curated and co-created, which to some, well, to many might feel just like semantics, but to me it's the heart of your change and your approach. How we go about getting change done will focus on processes and tools. It will be the things that we use to help us progress on that journey and to get some good outcomes. But the difference between what you're going to work through here in the online environment and the playbook and what you'll see elsewhere is our focus is not always on what you do, but it is always on the way that you do it. So before we wade into some of the detail, I want to tell you that change isn't perfect. No matter how much planning you do, the capability you invest in, perfect should not be your ambition. Good change is what we're aspiring for. I know it doesn't feel very fancy, but it's probably for the best. Because when you experience good change, you'll realise there's nothing average about it. It's bloody brilliant. And what do we know about good change? Well, even the best change, it will always need to adjust, adapt, and change itself. And even on the worst days, it might feel hell rocky, but it's not going to implode. You're going to be okay. The difference between something not going well and is imploding, well, unfortunately, it comes down to you. Not literally, I hope you're not stood there with a stick of dynamite, but it will come down to you, your approach, and your courage. Change requires courage, and we focus lots of our effort in creating space for you to be courageous. I'm not talking white knight or saving the day kind of stuff, but we ground our ideas, our approach, and our outlook on 3 types of courage: try, trust, and tell. You can find these on page 4 of your playbook, but here is a quick rundown. Try courage is the action. It's your first attempt. It is speaking up. Trust courage is where you have to rely on others, bring people in, seek their support. And tell courage is the courage of the voice, of truth telling, of speaking to power. Each one of these will come into play with a bit of encouragement when you need it. But look out for that wibbly feeling and see if you can identify the type of courage that needs dialing up a bit. Listen to your head and your heart, and it will help you focus on your courage A game. It will take practice. It will take practice from speaking up for yourself and your colleagues, being open to change and for others challenging your change, and speaking up for when you know something isn't right or isn't working. So now we're going to kick off with a couple of warm-up tasks to get you ready for what comes next. The reason we are doing this is because change is really personal. So we're starting with you. I want you to take a few minutes, and when you are ready, reflect on the last change you were a part of. You can capture them in the pages of your playbook or just sit with them for a while. Think about what happened. What do you remember? What would you have done differently? And what would you hang on to? And then I want you to find your way into your playbook and head over to page 2. And take stock of where you are now. Use words, numbers, or pictures to answer the prompts. This is for your eyes only, so don't worry about what you write or how it feels. And you're going to start in the column where it's headed beginning, because that's exactly where we are. We'll return to this throughout the course. It's here to help keep you grounded, to help you see how your thoughts and expectations to change are impacting what you're doing and how you're thinking. It will help you call out anything you might need to focus on. So for now, it's over to you.